Welcome back to the Stoop football fans. It's your boy Lolo here with y'all on another Friday night for Friday Night Happy Hour. And it is the last happy hour of 2022. As crazy as that sounds, it's true. It's true. In a couple days, it will be 2023. Oof. Wow. Yeah, just making me feel old. But for now, happy new year, everybody. Almost. But for now, it is Friday 2022. It is time to kick off some beers with all y'all Stoop crew members, and to even one of our new subscribers here, Thunder Road. Good to see you, my man or woman. I'm not sure. Not trying to guess here, but good to see everybody. Let's crack it open. I've been waiting. John, didn't think you would be here tonight. I'm so happy.
That's special.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Even drink still. Oh, we're drinking the
I
same
got
thing.
him. I got him.
I got the Clydesdale piss. Let's drink it.
And I'm eating my carrot sticks. I'm healthy.
Oh, you're starting early. You're supposed to be eating Twinkies right now, like end of the year. Run it out the way you lived it, and we'll start to get a little bit fit in a few days. But let's get started saying hi to everybody who's been in the house in the comments section. Kicking it off, the first one I see is Anders, but Jimmy Bremmer's Ghost, you're always in there very early as well. Anders, hello, boys. Ben, Arizona as well. Lads. And he says he just got back from Leeds. I thought you were going to be there this weekend, but maybe you were there that last weekend. Director John as well. Ping Cushion, good to see you in the comment section already as well. Who else do we have here? Gary Graham Wood Robinson, nice to see all y'all. Thunder Road, new subscriber, care of the Arsenal Fan Circle and DWTT fan channels. Well, thank you very much, Gary, and Arsenal Fan Circle as well. Macronomical, which I realize I've been saying the wrong way constantly. It's Macronical. Sorry. Evan. We'll call you Evan. I'll just let everybody know your name. And Runs with Cows, who I always call Runs with Crows. But I'm getting better. I'm learning how to read in this end of this year. Maybe by next year, I'll be able to read. But we had some Premier League action today. We saw two teams. I would say we saw three teams play very poorly, and we saw Brentford play pretty well. I don't know how Liverpool actually won the match. Somehow a defender on the losing team was the man of the match and had the most goals in the match and was on a perfect hat trick. If he could have only gotten an own goal with his head, Foss would have been no fossing about on that one. But Liverpool somehow came away with a win. Darwin Núñez still has no idea how to put the ball in the back of the net. He's playing some other sport where it's all about getting close and hitting the uprights. That's also wrong. Hitting the goalposts. Ooh, it's going to be a good show tonight, guys. I can't wait. So before my mouth runs me in deeper into a corner, let me bring on my lovely co-host, Mr. Mark. You all know him. You all love him. The one and only Wolves
and maybe
fan
you might
in
hate
New York.
me. I don't know. Oh, welcome,
Cheers.
Welcome everybody. Welcome me. Welcome. Friday happy hour. I think if Joseph doesn't work out, Greg Joseph for the Minnesota Vikings as their place kicker, their field goal taker, then maybe we'll sign Darwin Núñez. He was I had someone compared him to vintage Bamford, but I think he was doing his best Timo Werner impression.
God,
or
this guy.
Try as he might, and it's I for me, when I see Bamford make those things, I think it's just because his lack of playing time, and I know that him shanking sitters goes way back, but it didn't seem like to be a mental thing as much as it was like kind of a physical thing or something, or maybe he was trying to do too much with Núñez. It's very Timo Werner like. It's just you are wanting to score so badly that all you can think of is where you're gonna run to and celebrate. You haven't even gotten there yet.
Oh my God, he celebrated that own goal like it was his. He almost took his shirt off running around being like, "Oh, that counts."
Well,
that counts.
and I thought Salah was gonna take like, hey, wait a minute, that was mine, you bastard. I thought he was gonna fight him for it because he gets to it. It goes in the net. They go up 2-1, and Salah sees that and he just goes, because he's hungry for that. Whole team is hungry for goals.
Well, and they all know that Cody Gakpo is going to come in and start putting every goal opportunity away, and Darwin Núñez is just going to fall down the pecking order as Diogo Jota gets fit, as Luis Diaz gets fit. I don't know
but
how
when
long.
is that? I don't think
mean,
Jota's
when
even
is
due
Núñez
back
gonna
until
score?
March.
When is he going to score?
Fair
That's
enough.
the fucking thing. Macronomical. Oh, it's still coming out. Macronomical says
Macronical.
Darwin
It's like-
Núñez is.
It's like
Don't
having a
correct me, I
detective
can't.
series.
That doesn't help.
No?
Macronical, brought to you by Ajax.
Oh, that still doesn't help. He says Darwin Núñez is probably known as Noodles. Yeah, well, yeah. To me, everybody talking about Ivan Toney with his betting scandals. To me, I'm starting to think that Núñez is betting that he won't score because he's trying to get him as close as possible without scoring. And even at the end there, he had another one where he's free on goal, and I was like, he's not making this. He's not making this. It's not going to happen. Anyway, speaking of Ivan Toney,
for it.
very, very sad to see Ivan Toney go down and need to be stretchered
very
off.
sad to see. And it didn't seem like he was like he made. I know it was on a set piece and it was in very close quarters, but it didn't look like anybody made any sort of significant. It just looks like he came down on that back leg wrong, and I think his toe got caught in the grass, and it just.
Yeah.
I think it's bad because they were barely touching him, trying to figure out what's going on. The medics, and he was just screaming in pain.
Yeah, it's
really too bad.
Runs with cows. Nobody really knows right now what's going on with Ivan Toney's issues. The fact that he's playing, that he's back. Like I know a lot of people didn't pick him up in fantasy because you just don't know what to do, what's going to happen with him. But he scored in the last 2 matches. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe he knows a little bit and was like, oh, I might as well be injured here and go off. Wouldn't be surprised if we see that. Oh, they decided he's suspended for a month and his injury lasts a month. So we'll see how all that plays out. It's all speculation at this point. But we have some guests here, Mark, who are actually in a different time zone. And I know we have some Leeds boys in here all the time in different time zones, and they might be a little pissed off that I'm prioritizing this guy. But you know, I'm.
Hey, you
it's
know
not
what?
because he's a
it's like-
Newcastle fan.
It's like
It's
point
not-
counterpoint. We've given enough airtime to Leeds. It's now time to give airtime to a soon to be opponent.
Well, I'm just saying we don't get him on the show that often. We can't have him sit backstage for 20 minutes when it's already midnight over there in Cambridge. So he might forget about all the trash talking I told him to talk. There he is, bursting in. Tony via Cambridge. Tony the Tune, everybody.
Tony the Tune.
Give it up for Tony
Good
the
to see
Tune
you. Thanks
here.
for coming on, man.
Oh, thanks for having me, guys.
How are you, Mr. Third Place?
I'm excited to play Leeds tomorrow, and excited to play you guys next week. So just fun against Ben tomorrow, and then you next week. So just
Yeah, man.
back to back amongst the group.
Yeah, man. If you keep winning and playing the earlier matches, you'll keep going into second place every week. You know, just for City to jump over you. And we're just trying to avoid doing that with them in first place right now. So we'll just try to keep winning whenever we can. But Tony, your team, Newcastle, fucking scary, man. They're scary. I was saying in our weekend watch list that Man City don't scare me. I know who they are. I know what they do. I know what to be afraid of. Right now, your team, you don't know where it's coming from. Yeah, you can stop Almiron, but then Bruno Guimaraes does some shit. Then Joe Linton does some shit. Then Trippier will just get a free kick goal out of nowhere. And you guys aren't giving up very many goals. What's the secret right now? Like, it's just pure confidence all over the pitch. And I feel like it's only comparable to Arsenal right now, where Arsenal are playing with that confidence. You guys are playing with that same joy and confidence. Is it the manager? Is it everything?
I think you just said right there. I think it's the Eddie Howe effect is in full force this season. So just coming from everywhere. So, and it was nice to see Chris Wood just take a solid penalty instead of the ones we saw at the World Cup. So just
smash. He
smashed
that.
Smashed and just took care of business. So couldn't believe 2 goals in the first 12 minutes or whatever it was. So I couldn't believe the side I was watching on Monday. So
yeah, I had a cheeky bet going for more than 3 goals, a Newcastle win, Almiron scores, and a Bruno Guimaraes assist. And the third goal, I think it was the third goal, was no, it was the second goal, I think, was an assist from Bruno to Almiron. And I was like, oh, it's like 10 minutes into the match. I think I got this bet. It was like $1 bet to win 30 or something, 30 or 40. It was,
yeah. I tailed you on that, and we basically won it in 20 minutes.
Yeah. By the end of the first half, it was done. It was done.
It was crazy.
So,
yeah,
very fun to watch.
The Miggy goal, like just watching on TV, you're just like, oh my God, still got the. And then
How does he still have the ball?
Yeah, he just made it look absolutely effortless, and the ball from Bruno to Trippier, and then Miggy, just the tandem of the two of them is absolutely incredible. So it's a lot of fun to watch. It's just Monday didn't feel real seeing them play that way. It was
but they've been playing that way for quite a while.
I know, but every match
in a row, right?
It's just amazing to see it. Like it just doesn't feel real. Like
has Newcastle lost since August? Was that the last time they actually had an honest loss in just league play
or something like that?
Just before 99 minutes, if you want to, again, the whole Liverpool thing. So
the Liverpool one, oh my God! And
yeah, but
I was pissed about that.
There was some
back
funkiness going on with the refereeing and VAR. I seem to remember there was a bit of controversy in that game, but you guys haven't had like a solid loss since the season began.
No, should have beat Man City and then drew because Holland, and then just have been. I mean, against you guys. I mean, that was the other.
We did play you tough, but I mean that was so early in the season. It was 1-0, right?
No, it was 1-1. I think.
1.
Oh, was it? We drew.
It was 1-1.
Right?
It's been so long.
Right?
I've been
you
crawling
through
the Premier League desert for like the last
no.
Yeah,
and that was
3 months.
Was right after the Liverpool match, because it was another one where where it's kind of a referee thing where like, oh, they're not giving. I think it was St. Maximin or somebody went through and scored, but they brought it all the way back for a foul or something.
Or no,
like
you
that.
guys scored, but they brought it back, and then St. Maximin scored in the dying seconds.
Yeah.
So just the
Yeah.
Liverpool one. So it's
Yeah, I see. Yeah, I'm kind of remembering it now. I think it was one of those things where you guys were just charging, and I always say that's like, at the end of the match, there's only so long you can defend that way to hold a 1-0 lead. I mean, you're eventually gonna break.
and I think them playing at home is just an absolute fortress. So I know Ellen Road is a big home for Leeds, but I think tomorrow, just being at St. James Park is absolutely
you guys are tough
atmosphere. There. So I think
I would definitely
that helps them a lot.
For sure.
Yeah. So this has been very nice and very calm talking to you. Now let's throw a wrench in the conversation and bring on. We're going to bring a both on because you talked a little bit of smack about both of our clubs. So we're going to bring on Ben with a little bit of backup for me with Gary. Ben, this Newcastle fan over here part of the Toon Army right here. Let's put him in the middle there. There we go. So we can all give him a right crack in the face. He says he's going to walk through Leeds United and then he's going to come visit us with a smile on his face.
Well, first of all, happy hour and welcome everybody.
Happy hour. Cheers, guys. Cheers, guys.
Look, I'm in two minds tomorrow. Excuse me. We'll either get stuffed or we'll beat you. And as far as Newcastle go, I'd like you as fans to see some success, and that if success means top 4 this season and in progression. But
we brought you guys on far too early. Ben's wishing you success, and like I like them. Fuck it, Ben. Change the channel, please. Somebody get Ben a joint or some alcohol because this is too friendly. This is too friendly.
I think you'll fall short because unless you do some good business in January, I think you did buy well, but I don't think you bought for depth. And Almiron will come to a point where his form will just hit a dry run because it's Almiron. And fair play to him, he's hitting the heights and his confidence is up and he's taking advantage of that. But he's Almiron. I just feel in this league, a lot of average players can look good. And I think Almiron's an average player, but I think there's a lot.
Are you, Jack Grealish?
A lot of average players in this league, and I think the league is made up at least 70% of average players. There's
not
a few at
everyone
each
can
club.
be a
There's a few at each,
superstar.
no, I get that. There's a few at each club, spread around, and then the top 6 have got a few more. And Man City and Liverpool have got a few more than that, and Arsenal are growing theirs. And the rest of us have just got to sort of deal with, finding the gems for these big clubs. And
I hear what you're saying.
Newcastle are in a position where they can eventually buy all the gems. But I like the business that they did this year. But I just feel they're going to fall short at some point this season.
I don't know.
And
I
hope
hear
I'm
what
wrong.
you're saying.
I mean, that's
Almiron was
different, though.
fantastic in the MLS. He was fantastic in the MLS.
Though. It's the MLS.
I know, and that's why it took him 2 or 3 seasons to. I can't get away with that. I can't get away with that. And then you realize he's with the wrong manager, and then a new manager comes in.
And I understand.
He
the same with
doesn't
Joe
change
Linton.
overnight.
The
Changes
same
overnight.
with Joe Linton, right? There's a good player in there, and Steve Bruce couldn't find him, and I get Steve Bruce couldn't find it with Almiron, but I just feel with Almiron, I just feel that he hits 4 or 5 games without scoring, and it's going to turn into 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games.
I think he's on like 8 in a row or something like that. So I think he can miss a few matches.
But
9 in a row, 9 matches in a row,
9 goals overall.
Inevitably, right? To burst your bubble, you're either going to stuff us tomorrow or we're going to burst your bubble.
Ben, I don't think you know how this works.
It all depends whether we sit back like we did for 70 minutes.
We need to build them up, Ben.
And
I'm only going to say good things about Newcastle.
No, but they built themselves up.
Demolish them in 2 weeks, and I don't feel bad.
Look, I hope we listen, Lolo. I hope we soften them up for you, but they've built themselves up this season slowly. Momentum's carried on, and they deserve to be where they deserve to be. Liverpool tonight were abstract. They were shit. They won,
but Liverpool also, every single one of those okay players is playing for their lives.
Yeah.
They know they can be replaced. There is money there to replace them.
The difference is, and at Newcastle, they're playing for the manager.
Can I just throw something out there?
I don't have to say a word. You guys are all fighting my battle for me.
On something that you just said, it's like you're saying that that Liverpool and their spending. Do you think since the club is up for sale that they are going to spend?
Possibly.
Liverpool.
What league? Liverpool.
Keeping in Europe.
Look, the team
value up.
Are you on about Leeds here? The team's been up for sale the minute they took any percentage from the 49ers.
He's talking about Liverpool.
Liverpool, I don't give a shit whether they spend or not. They've spent money, but slyly.
So why are you answering the question?
Well, then, since that's being dismissed, and I'll be really brief because I just want to comment on what Ben had said. One about the success of the team and in top four. I want nothing but Newcastle success, so that it's different, so that we don't have the same fucking four teams in the top four year after year after year. Secondly, with Almiron, I don't see that coming because that team is playing so well, and Eddie Howe is the best thing that happened to Almiron, and it will continue.
No, I agree.
Does
And
anybody
I don't
have
know.
a cure for laryngitis?
Yeah, stop
Gary?
talking.
Gary hasn't said a word yet.
Gary,
Go ahead.
I was gonna. No, I thought we were
quiet,
gonna
Gary.
go in on Tony because he said he's gonna be smiling when they come to the Emirates. And
Right, that's
I think
enough, Gary.
that
Got
might-
something to say.
That might be.
No,
Yeah,
go on,
that's right.
Gary.
Yeah,
go
you
on.
guys.
I love you, Gary.
Yeah, no, Newcastle's look good, and the thing that I looked at is that City match where they did take the lead, but then I want to say they let City back in because they had opportunities, I think, to go even further ahead.
Yeah.
And when you don't do that, you get punished by City. They've shown they can come back. I think Arsenal's defense is pretty solid.
It's good defense. Good defense.
So it'll be a really good match with them. We'll see. And Keddy, I think he could be the difference in that match. As we get anything out of him, it would be really good in that one. But I think our defense is solid, and I think that's what I'll take into that. And our youngsters on the outside are looking good, so it'll be a really good game. And I don't like when teams lose before they play my team, so that's kind of what I'm hoping for, because I only want teams to lose to Arsenal. That's it. Sorry, if they lose 2 in a row, perfect. But
here's me, right? I was thinking ahead like you, right? I was looking at the West Ham game tonight and thinking, at least they lost. We've got them next. I was looking beyond Newcastle. I don't usually do that.
That might be a good win for you guys.
Get after Newcastle.
Guys, just a quick side note right here. We had a comment in here. Let's Talk Sports. Let's Talk Sports is actually a sports network of channels. It's this guy Dan who gets together all sorts of different sporting personalities on YouTube, all over podcasts and all of that. And he asked us today if we would like to start doing some content for their network that's going to be happening. He's got a big network of podcasts and YouTube channels and stuff like that, and we'll be launching a channel on. I don't want to speak out of turn here, but he's doing a lot of really cool things. Talks all different sports, and is really interested in getting a Wolves fan, an Arsenal fan, a Leeds fan, possibly a Toon, and likes what we do. So has
That's
asked on the Stoop
fantastic.
to be a part of the
That's the
network.
best
So
news
big up
today.
to you, Let's Talk Sports.
Welcome.
If you can, guys, go ahead, click on his name right there and see if you can
I will do that after
go
the
through
show.
and drop a subscribe on that channel there, and I'll let you guys know what we're doing with all that. But thank you so much for staying up late to
Welcome, man.
check out the show.
Can I just say back on Newcastle? As a Leeds fan, I understand what they've been through with ownership and turmoil, and we're a big club. I don't know how long you've supported Newcastle, Tony, being from the US, but
10 years.
so you've seen a bit of heartache with you, and you understand what a size club you are.
Yeah,
So-
I went 2 matches in the championship.
From that sincerity, that's why I want Newcastle to finish top 4. I want them to break the bubble, but I don't want them to become, with the ownership they've got, one of the big 6. Do you know, where you bully and everybody understands, the logic.
Yeah.
Whether it's real or it isn't real, we can all see what we can see in football, whether to refereeing decisions, to FA decisions, there's a massive bias, and it goes throughout global football for the big clubs. So I just hope that you keep your integrity towards your fans, because Newcastle fans are real.
Yeah, I mean, Newcastle fans were voted the best fans in the Premier League, and the most raucous atmosphere, home and away, or something like that. And I know Leeds United fans were very close, second or third, but Newcastle fans were voted number one. So
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying with that, and I do kind of have that feeling when they were bought by Saudi Arabia or whoever it actually is that bought them. It did feel like a little like good and bad. Like, okay, good, it's going to get Newcastle back to some of their glory years, but also like I really hope they don't pull a Chelsea and just change the market where you're overpaying for players. And there was a little tiny bit of that starting when they did the Chris Wood thing, which felt more like a just let's fuck Burnley so they go down. He's not even going to play.
Clever business, though.
Clever business. But then they stopped, and it wasn't a crazy summer. It wasn't a crazy summer of spending and buying. They didn't put in a bid for Ronaldo, or I don't know if they did, but it hasn't gone nuts, and they actually got a really good manager. They didn't go out for a Mourinho or somebody like that. They went out with somebody who
point, Lolo,
can actually work with that.
How many of their signings this summer had you actually heard of? Or you actually knew
Alexander
a little bit?
Isak, but
other than that, but
even Guimaraes, I didn't know anything
they
about
were,
him until
they were
Arsenal
under the
were linked
carpet
with
players, were they not? They were under the radar players
Yeah.
with ability.
Botman
Yeah,
was the biggest.
and I don't know whether that was anything to do with Eddie Howe or your sporting director. I don't know who's done your recruitment there, but fair play to it and total fair point. They haven't done the Chelsea and just bought everybody that's available, just so
Like
everybody else can't. Yeah, so everybody else can't have them. But
All right, so let me ask you, Tony. I know I have in my head the one player that if this guy went down would change Newcastle. So what one player for you do you feel, or maybe you don't think that's the case, but is there one player on Newcastle that if he went down for 3 months, ends the season for him, it could change the whole, like all of a sudden top 4 is a reach, top 6 is a reach, that sort of thing?
I would say Trippier. Just based on pure leadership, and I mean, you could see it when he was injured earlier in 2022 when I think it was after the first one against, what was it, Villa or Everton, where he came off. I mean, he still like went to Southampton away with them, but I mean, just the on-field presence he has is just incredible. So that alone is like automatically a point the minute the match starts, just having him out there, because you just feel confident having him on the field. Like, he's just commanding, and when I don't even know, like it's just fun to watch him just command everybody around. And even when Lascelles came on a while ago, he still gave him the armband and just shows that respect for the club captain, at least. So I would say Trippier for sure. And the way he plays the ball, he runs. Yeah, Trippier all day.
Yeah,
he's one of these attacking fullbacks that actually can defend. Defends as well as he attacks, and that's scary. Sorry, Mark, you were going to say?
No. I was going to say he is the obvious choice. He, in fact, I think on our recap show, we talked a little bit about Newcastle and about that Trippier getting injured last year and what that meant to Newcastle. But the not so obvious choice for me is a guy that has done a tremendous job for Newcastle on the defense, and that's your keeper, Nick Pope. I'm kind of wondering where you guys would be if he got hurt. I know you've got that what is
Karius.
it, that Krios
Loris Karius, the former Liverpool keeper.
I know you got him, but I don't know much about him. But I feel that he is having such a season that it would be considered a drop off, and it might be a bit of a damaging detriment to Newcastle.
Yeah, for sure. That'd probably be the backup. Definitely. I just think Trippier, just for leadership and the way he manages the side for Eddie out there, and then Pope for sure. Just because I don't know how.
Can I ask you? You think you're going to trounce us tomorrow, or?
I mean, after you guys played Man City, I think it'll be like when we played you last year when Shelby got that miraculous goal. I think it'll.
That was crazy.
I think it'll just be back and forth like a basketball match.
I think if we don't sit back like the first 70 minutes against City, then we can hurt you. We hurt Spurs, we hurt Liverpool, we could have hurt Arsenal. Do you know, we tend to play better against the teams that come at us and have more of the ball than us.
Yeah.
So I think it all depends on how long we sit back and how attacking we are from minute one. Do you know? So
yeah, I mean, because you guys play the press and then we play the press, so
yeah. So you're guaranteed it's going to be a crazy game. It's Leeds United, so yeah, it's not going to be straightforward. Whatever you think there. So, but it could be an absolute shit show in our defence. But then we could turn up with an attacking masterclass. So it's one of them things with Leeds United. You don't know what you're going to get. So
yeah, and then I saw there was talks about Wilson maybe being fit for tomorrow, so that changes as well. And then
that definitely changes. We've got Tyler Adams back, so I think that changes as well.
Yeah, and then that helps you guys. So it's what gives the physical presence, and then Wilson gives the attacking presence. So
can I ask you guys what you think? Did you watch Leeds City?
Yep.
What do you think of Nonto?
I loved his that he wasn't going to back down against Grealish, and he just got in Grealish's face. And I liked seeing the fire, because I think that's been a little it's been a little dampered this season. You know, it's I don't know. We talked about it a little bit on the show earlier, where it seems like you're starting to see more of the imprint of Marsh and less of the imprint of Bielsa, and that there's a bit of fire that seems to be missing. And it was good to see it come back.
Nonto, he's gonna. Hopefully, he can bring some more friends with him, because he looked like he was out there alone. Nobody else wanted to get in there and get dirty in that box with him.
Yeah, you saw what I saw then. Yeah,
every time he got into the box, he's just cut.
Cut
through the middle. Somebody, he's gonna put the ball.
Young, no fear, enthusiasm. Yeah. What do you think, Lolo?
Yeah, I think it was exactly the same thing. I think when he took off and he can dribble past a few guys, it felt like Leeds United players were going, all right,
the boy's got good feet, hasn't he?
Go do it. And he continues to go towards the outside and then cuts in to send in a cross. But he's like, no, nobody's here. Yeah. Nobody's here. Meanwhile, Rodrigo is on the other side of the net going like, oh, you didn't pass. And it's like, you've been offside the entire time.
I'll say about Rodrigo, he scored 9 goals.
The rest of the Leeds players are like, just do it yourself, Willie. And maybe he should have. Maybe he should just continue cutting in and dribble past everything.
There's that one pass he took from like midway through the 18, and it just trickled right through, and like there was no Leeds shirt.
How many times did Leeds do that? Just pass into open space. It wasn't like they gave the ball straight directly away. It's just like, oh, there's a bit of space in green grass. We'll just kick it over there. Do you know? It's frustrating.
All right. Well, the friendly hour is over. We've got a very angry Leeds United fan just waiting in the wings to talk shit to Ben more than anything, because Ben's
I've had him on private chat.
You've had him on private chat. Okay, good. So you know everything he wants to say to you. So let's bring him on. You know him, you love him, or you don't. It's Mr. Tom, everybody, with Hollywood. Is that Hollywood?
Hang on. Wait. Who said I'm angry? Why am I angry?
Look at you.
I'm trying to build up the show.
You do look a bit red.
No, start again. Time me out.
All right. He's angry. He's pissed off. He's raring to go. We don't know who he's mad at. You know him, you love him, or you don't. It's Mr. Tom, everybody.
Oh, you fucking cunts.
Oh, I was hoping you was going to rip your shirt off like Hollywood Holt there.
He's not going to tear a decent fucking Leeds jersey. That's good.
That was that was the calmest. You fucking cunts.
I'm just looking though, right? me and Mark are like polar opposites. Other than the sleeve there, it's like
you guys.
Oh, we
you
have the
guys
same
are-
haircut too. I keep it a little closer.
Hello, Tony.
yeah, you just ain't got what I've got.
What's going on, Mr.
No,
Tom?
I
What do
don't.
you think
Once
about all
again.
this Newcastle United talk that we've been talking and Leeds United stuff? What's going on with you?
I thought there was some interesting things said. I think there's a mild bit of denial that we're talking about top breaking into the big six. It's clearly already a big seven, even if people don't know it yet.
I was thinking that, Mr. Tom,
So-
if you don't mind me interrupting, will Sky Sports turn it into a big seven, or will they eject
Yes.
one of them like Tottenham?
No, I think they'll feel like they have to make it seven because it makes it. Obviously, they're selling a product more than a sport. So for them to say that there's more big teams is
Yeah.
even better for them.
Yeah, but
Rather
it's
than
Sky
going,
They'll
Sports,
never
everybody.
kick out.
Yeah.
They'll never kick out Harry Kane.
Just so you
So
know,
if Harry
everybody,
Kane
it is
leaves
Sky
Tottenham,
Sports.
then Tottenham might go. But as long as Harry Kane's on Tottenham,
It was
they're
it
in
was
the
a big
six.
three, and Sky turned it to a top four, and then to a top six, and they will turn it to a top seven and a top eight eventually. So
it's a seven quicker than people probably thought it would be, based on the start of the season.
Yep.
and it's
And-
only going to
and
be
I gotta
so long
say-
before a Middle Eastern country wants to rival Saudi Arabia, because let's face it, football is political.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So yeah, I think somewhere like Qatar or somewhere will be the next purchase of a big club.
Well, I just think
It
like
don't-
how
it-
different the end of last season to now is, where they're thinking, okay, yeah, it's not a top big seven yet, but Newcastle will get there. And actually, when they get there, the way Arsenal's going, Arsenal might be out of it, and then it's still just a big six. But now it's such a different conversation of like, oh well, you can't take Arsenal out of there, and I'm like, well,
You
know,
can't
we
take
weren't
Arsenal
too
out,
long
Lolo,
ago.
because
There's no
you've
rule that
actually
says it
got
has
a
to be
good.
six.
You've got good players, and they're not all world-beating players, but you have got an absolutely outstanding coach. Whether it took his time to bed in, the guy knows his shit, and it's
that
evident.
definitely was the plan, though. They definitely wanted to.
Hmm.
I mean, as I always say, they wanted to let him figure it out, and we wanted it to be done already. Because we know that it could be a quick turnaround with a better manager, a more seasoned manager. But they wanted to take their time, and they're doing it. They're doing it by whatever book they have, and it's working. So
Yeah.
they're not going to change it, right? So
But-
you have to stick around for this ride and hope it keeps going. It can only get better if they continue.
What I can see, rather than like a Super League, like you had this attempt to break away, and this attempt ain't gone away, but I feel inevitably you'll have a Super League, Premier League, and I do feel that
We're already
England-
there.
No, but I feel England will close that relegation off for the Premier League eventually itself, rather than have to send 6 clubs over to Europe to do it. I just feel that eventually the business model will become where the Premier League is like the NFL.
I hope not. I'll stop following. I couldn't do it.
I think that's almost
You-
inevitable, though.
This is the problem with it is people will say they won't watch it, and then the first game will happen, and it'll be great.
Of course,
and
yeah,
everyone
it
will
was
Look
the
at the
same.
World
It
Cup.
was the
A
same
lot
when
of
the
people
Premier
said-
League started. No one will watch it because it's Sky. It's a rip-off. The ITV
Right, yeah.
were guaranteed the contract, and there was a bit
I'm
of
not saying
backhanding
anyone's
and this,
wrong.
that done. And they told Sky to just put an anonymous bid in, which will outbid ITV, and there was uproar about it, and nobody will watch it. Now look where we are.
Yeah, nobody will watch a breakaway football league, and now it's the most watched league in the world.
Yeah, I mean,
But
if as
people
long as the pro
genuinely
is
thought
there,
it
I'll
would help.
watch.
I met the guy that
But
created
people
it.
genuinely thought it would fail. And it obviously didn't.
Mm.
Because ultimately, it's still football.
Of course.
Now we're not talking about the American Football League, right?
No.
Well,
But it's going that way,
I would-
and
But-
there's more and more. I mean, look, you've got Emirates or whatever country they're from that own Man City. You've got Americans that own Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea.
Bournemouth.
You've got Bournemouth. You've got
Mm.
Leeds United eventually. You've got the Saudis, these people are all about business, all about making money,
Mhm.
and they want to guarantee money like the NFL. You can guarantee you're going to make money every year. And I just feel that the Premier League will feel the threat from Europe and just close ranks.
These people are all about money. These Americans are all about money.
I'm not on about
motherfucker. You know how naive you sound.
No, but when
it's wrong.
These Americans are all about money.
I don't mean to
rich
be
people. Rich
No,
people that
I'm
can
on
afford
about yes,
football
but the
teams
majority
are all about money.
The majority
There's no
of them.
altruistic fucking.
I didn't mean to stereotype and to offend you as American. I just meant
I'm
the
offended
majority.
at your stupidity.
No, I just meant the majority are American at the minute. Do you know? But the Americans have got the business model, model of the NFL, because most of them owners are NFL owners, so they've got that business sense.
What your comment does is it's like a backhanded, not a backhanded comment. What you're doing is you're saying that about the Americans and putting it on them, and what it's doing is without saying it, saying we have the moral high ground. All the British owners have the moral high ground.
No, I didn't mean it that way. I didn't mean it that way.
We know the culture of football.
Why not? It's an English-based league.
You took that to a level.
They want to have it.
Yeah,
here's what I'm afraid of. Here's what I'm afraid of about the American influence.
Of course,
a rich person is a rich person.
Can I just say, Lolo? I didn't mean to express it as the British people and the American and take the moral high ground. I just meant to make it as the American owners have the NFL mentality, whereas what's left of the British owners have still got the old football league mentality. And that's not me being. That's me looking at how British business is done in football and how American influence is overtaking. I didn't mean it as we're taking the moral high ground. Look, what will be in business is business. It will take that trajectory, whatever I think of it, because it's beyond me. Do you know, I don't have the money.
So don't get me wrong.
Trying to leave.
Yeah.
So don't get me wrong. I agree with you that American ownership sucks. And yes, they're doing things in a very financial way. What I'm saying is all rich people only concern themselves with getting richer. And so the problem is they're looking at the Americans and going, oh, fuck, that is a good idea. Yeah, let's do that.
I just think I meant the difference is the American owners are billionaires, whereas what's left of the British owners are just multi-millionaires.
And the Saudis are multi-trillionaires.
Yeah.
And they're doing it their own fucking way.
Exactly. And I didn't mean to say that look, American,
but here's the joke that's been tossed around right now is like we're trying to get Mikhailo Mudryk from Shakhtar Donetsk, and they're saying we need 100 million pounds for him. Well, we could probably buy the club of Shakhtar Donetsk for 200 million,
probably less
or less.
That's
the American mentality. That's the American mentality.
So basically, right, and you can hold me on record for this. They're basically asking you to fund the rest of the war campaign.
Yeah.
Well,
that's why it is.
They're not giving any money.
Of course it is.
Now, if we said that, then fuck yeah. Then you look at the American mindset. Stan Kroenke's like, oh, you mean I could write off 50 million of this as a war contribution, as a charitable thing? Fuck yeah. Then yeah, let's pay 100 million. Let's do it.
Yeah.
If he was given that option, but I don't know that they are. I'm just saying we could probably buy the whole club and just loan out Mudryk indefinitely. Fucking get Modric too. Why not? But Mudryk. I gotta learn how to say that guy's name.
One of the things that
Ben and I have been talking too much. Mark, you go ahead.
One of the things that I'm concerned about with the influence of, the American money, specifically football, which is a ridiculously rich league and a money-making generating league. They see their influence in Premier League and they want to do that, commodify it. It's a product to them. The thing that I'm afraid of is that I don't want to watch a match that is going to have like a split screen because there's no ads shown during matches on TV, so that kind of revenue doesn't exist. So maybe we get that split screen when they do like the 30-second timeout, and you're watching the field and you see half the screen is a commercial. But then also, I just don't want to hear like, and this corner kick is brought to you by Tide. Planters Peanuts is bringing you this penalty kick. And it's going to happen. As long as there's like this deep pocket money coming in, influencing the league because they want to generate a revenue.
Yeah, I've noticed it with YouTube. It's getting worse.
Yet on the shirts, I'm wearing a freaking training top.
Sure.
And I have
sure.
That's how it. My head. That's how it should be.
Yeah, but that's in a league that shows commercials, and you have
on the
TV times out. Could you imagine how maddening
on the ice? They do it on the ice.
If there were TV timeouts.
What have you got on your arm, Lolo? Have you got it on the arm, Lolo?
They even say
the match
would
would
have
never
the children.
end.
You would have the mascots who walk out with the players. Each one would have a different one. And now the Tostitos mascot, and it's a little kid holding a bag of Tostitos. Like, we don't even get these here.
Yeah,
I don't want to be the Tampax rep.
I don't want to be the Tampax guy.
Ben, in the NHL, now they're putting it on the shirts because they're getting the influence from football. So now the ads are here, and then now they're putting them on their helmets in the NHL. So now they're taking influence from football.
Terrible.
Because they're trying to maximize revenue.
Yeah. And in the NFL, it's even worse where they'll like, and now with our, I'll keep it with Tostitos, and now with our Tostitos inside on the game, I just asked the coach what he thought is going on in this first quarter, and he said this. Back to you, Al. First of all, I'm like, don't talk to the coach during the match. Don't fucking walk up to the coach and ask him a question during the match. And then that segment alone was probably like, here's $50,000. So it's now the Tostitos 30-second check-in with the manager during a match. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going, but I hate all of that.
It's the FA.
I'm blaming Chelsea for this.
I blame Chelsea too. Where's Najee when you want him?
Like Lolo here on Monday for Amazon, the match was on, and they showed right before the match started, they brought Eddie Howe over and interviewed him on Amazon right before it started. I'm like, is that normal? Like,
fucking leave him alone.
Like to have somebody just come be interviewed right before the match, like on the touchline, or
no, Sky Sports do it as well.
Okay, so like
not all the time, but they have done it. Yeah.
Okay, so I feel like it would only be like that, but that would just it would.
I think it depends on their relationship with the individual. Like,
what was
Eddie
that?
Howe's obviously willing
I just
to
saw
talk to
we have a ticker now.
Ticker.
Tostitos. I don't even own it in the real Tostitos. This is my own brand of chips with the D.
He's pushing the product, pushing it.
I am.
It's Lotitos. And now with the Lotitos report.
This is Lolo coming to you from the Tostitos.
And we wondered what we would talk about.
I don't know. He's come from everywhere else, hasn't he?
That's true. No, I mean, this whole problem is only it's the FA, right? I mean, they have to they're allowing
they're the biggest money grabbers in football.
Yeah.
Other than FIFA, do you know they are?
No, as soon as they let City do what they did, then basically you can't like stop, and they're not going to stop now. As you said, because it just brings more money.
They should have stopped it at Chelsea.
Yeah, they should.
Somebody comes up to you though. You're just an FA employee that's pretty high up, and you've got a few decisions, and they have to come to you. And somebody comes to you and says, "Here's £500,000 in a briefcase. Look the other way." Are you not going to look the other way?
Well, I would say I already have a briefcase. Thank you very much.
And it's got $1 million in it, so you're going to have to get a bigger suitcase or two.
Well, I'm not going into
no. Let me ask you guys a question.
But
for you British people, or people who live in England as well, or have lived in England. We just did our show on Thursday, the weekend watch list, which we will be coming out with every Thursday for the rest of the season here. Weekend watch list where we pick the 3 matches that we think are the most interesting, most important, most whatever. We picked the 3. And we got a comment on the video that was kind of, or actually it was on Twitter, that seemed kind of angry. And it was like, in England, we don't get to watch any of the, what was it, the 3 o'clock matches? None of the 3 o'clock matches are shown on television, and they're actually blocked out on the internet as well. So if they're so hungry for money, and that's all of England, I understand the local blackouts, you know, where they want you to go to the
stadium. It's law in England.
It's a law as in government level, but it
so
also
if you're in Newcastle, Newcastle, but Brighton is playing Wolverhampton, has nothing to fucking do with you. You can't watch
it. It's not Premier League attendance. It's basically, the best way I can explain it is,
don't kill local football.
If West Ham are at home and it's on TV, but you can't get West Ham fans will sit home and watch it on TV and not go to the game. Worse than that, if West Ham are away and they can't get a ticket, they might go to Leyton Orient, who's the nearest local club.
Plus, there's also a thing where your local club apps or websites or whatever can show the highlights, but they're not allowed to show the highlights until Match of the Day has run its repeat on Sunday morning.
Yeah.
That's why we were sitting at the Emirates. Remember that, Gary and Mark, when we were at the Emirates and we were having our last beer and
there's only Sky allowed to show it.
And they had all the TVs on, and it was just a dude standing there going, "Oh, and it looks like Brighton has scored." And we're like, "Wait, there's matches on? Why aren't they showing any highlights? Why don't they have all the matches on?"
What you've got is, depending whether it's on Sky, BT, or Amazon, they've got the right to that game, X amount of games per game, and then they all pick, and then they'll rearrange your fixtures so you've gone from a Saturday to a Wednesday or whatever. And then whatever platform's got that game, let's say Arsenal are on Sky, Sky are allowed to show replays of that. Or Sky are allowed to, because Sky have got the ultimate package, they're allowed to show replays of any game online or on Sky Sports News. But until BBC, who have got the highlights packages, have shown the repeat on a Sunday morning, it's usually on about 10:30 on a Saturday night England time. Till they've shown the repeat on a Sunday morning, no other club is allowed to show the game on their website.
Wow! So we just got to get you guys a VPN and give you our Peacock account.
No, I've got yeah.
Don't mention
it's called IPTV.
Don't say anything. Fucking, our show barely makes any money as it is. You're gonna get us kicked off.
I could probably get you on IPTV on here.
IPTV sounds like an OnlyFans, but only for piss fiends. Welcome to IPTV, 24 hours of me peeing.
Trust you to fucking.
Let's talk sports. Pay no attention to that last 10 seconds.
Water sports.
Lolo, I get it. I know it's like really different coming here and having that like 3 o'clock time difference, but like, I mean the TV blackout. But I mean, being in Cambridge, like Tom was saying, you know, if I can't go, I mean, I'm not going. I'm going to the Newcastle area tomorrow, but I'm not going to the match. But if I was here in Cambridge and I knew I couldn't go, well, then I would go see Cambridge United, or I would go to like another like lower league match that I know I could go to. So
yeah, it's crazy that they have all those rules to keep British football British. But then they will screw over basically how they handle the Premier League and what that's going to do to the lower teams. At some point, like you said, it's going to be unless everybody sells out right to the highest bidder, it's going to. It won't be equal, right? There will be no parity.
It comes from such an altruistic place of like, no, support everybody, but then everything else they do is so shitty.
Yeah. So like,
keep in mind though.
All right, Tom, go ahead. No, go ahead, Tom. Go ahead.
No, it's all right.
Ben, you're having the Werthers.
Yeah. I had to mute him. He's having
The-
a fucking Werther's.
He's having
Did
a
anybody
Werther's.
watch-
Oh, we having
Did
a
anybody
word.
watch Welcome
we
to
having a
Wrexham?
Werther's
Having a
party.
toffee.
I will mute you too, Tom. Tony has something to say.
Werther's
God
party.
damn it. I'm muting everybody here.
Did anybody watch
Stop
Welcome to
opening-
Wrexham?
Not yet.
I
Not
want
yet.
to.
Okay, so if anyone saw, like, they pushed the National League to get streaming for the National League, just so they could
wow.
get the views and the revenue. So that show alone pushed them to get streaming for the National League in the 5th tier.
Wow.
So I mean,
Yeah, because I know people here who watch Wrexham football now, who
Yeah,
are Wrexam
just-
supporters, just from the show.
just from the
And
show.
it's a
Now they
cool
have
name.
streaming.
It's all it takes, isn't it? It's like, look at
No,
YouTube.
definitely.
Look at the idiots in YouTube that get millions and millions of views and followers, and you think, why? Jake Paul, why?
Right.
That's why I think our show is too smart to get
People are
views.
sheep. Yeah, you need to
You
be
mean-
proper.
We're not making millions.
No,
I would
and
love
see,
to
we
make
need to start.
millions.
If
They
we
were
were
cherries.
IPTV, we'd probably be doing really well.
Yeah, cherries,
I'm not
not
peeing on
Werther's.
you. Lolo, I'm not peeing on you.
I
There
wouldn't
are-
ask to
There's
do
probably
that.
more people.
I
who
would
pay
ask to
watch
pee on
that
you,
than to watch
please.
this.
Thank you very much.
Actually, John,
All
that's why
right,
you're
let's
the
move
director.
On. Let's move on, please, because you know how I feel about that
Gary
kind of
Gary
talk.
got uncomfortable.
Yes, I just like squirming in my
It is-
seat.
Well,
here.
It
now-
is
since-
probably
hey,
important to say.
Speaking of pee, maybe we take the bio break early. I
Yeah,
don't
guys.
know.
This bio
Um,
break has been brought to you by Tostitos.
My Tostitos.
Membership
with
before and
these
after. Wash your hands
Lolo
before you-
Stitos.
Lolo Stitos. Yeah, there you go. Lolo Stitos. That just sounds like my uncle's. Is what it's saying. Lolo Stitos.
Oh, I see what you did, Pincushion. I see what you did there.
I do believe
what is
Mr.
Scooby
Tom
D
was
two
rudely
talking about?
interrupted
No,
there.
we need to make sure that our
Which time?
Hispanic and Latino fans understand also what's going on with this break. So can you tell them as well?
Oh, all the Latinos that are in the audience?
Yes, sir.
I don't think there's a one. I don't think BxGunner is here today. I think he's the one we got. So guys, we are going to take a bio break because we are all old men who like to drink beer on this show. And so enjoy this little 3-minute video that is a segment of our weekend watch list that's discussing Leeds United versus Newcastle United, and then we will be back at the second half of the show, and we will kick it off with Mr. Tom's betting in the dark with Mr. Tom. That's too many Mr. Toms in that statement, but betting in the dark with Mr. Tom. And then we will get into our New Year's resolutions for our club. So if you got to pee, go do it now. Here's our bio break.
Premier League Weekend Watch List.
I got to go with to me, the number 2 team in the league right now. And it's not Manchester City. It's Newcastle United. Newcastle United playing at home against Leeds United. Leeds United, tough go of it, coming straight out the World Cup break with a starving Erling Haaland, who wasn't as sharp as it could have been. But now they go to Newcastle.
It's gonna be another tough test for the boys in Leeds.
But they get Tyler Adams
They get
back.
Tyler Adams back.
Sinistera,
maybe Sinistera, but I don't think so. But while you guys showed some fight against Man City, Leeds is going to have to show a lot more. Not just like the physicality of like, you know, like what they were doing to Grealish, because they got tired of his diving. They started getting into his face, and Nyoto was one of the instigators of that. And I love to see that, but you need to put that energy in your feet and on the ball, because it's going to take. If you thought it was going to be a miracle to beat Man City yesterday, it's going to be an even tougher task, because Newcastle is in such great form, and they come at you in so many different directions, and they play really great defense.
Yeah, and something that always gives Leeds United a chance is their pace and their energy. But I got to say, Newcastle United plays almost the same way.
Yeah.
That right now, that's the way they're playing. City can come out and sort of go, yeah, it'll come,
Yeah,
come, and then
no,
and
definitely.
then first
They break,
minute,
they
ball
break you
over the
down.
top to Erling
they
Haaland.
break you down.
But Newcastle
but
will
you know, I gotta say,
run
I didn't see that pace against City.
It was very
missing.
controlled.
Now, if that's because there was no Tyler Adams, then I hope they pick up the pace, so to speak.
No, it was them not wanting to go down 3
Yes.
goals in 2 minutes
Yeah, I
because they
suppose.
were pressing. But if you look at the second half of the second half, where Leeds United were like, screw this, and they were going for it, that's when they started to look better. That's when they had a bit more confidence. I don't think they are good at sitting back and saying, let's just keep them out, maybe go on the counterattack. You don't have a deadly striker to help that counterattack.
Yeah.
Every time Willie Gnonto got the ball and did something brilliant, nobody was running into the box. And if Rodrigo was running into the box, he usually ran past everybody and then was offside or was actually behind the net. So do I think Leeds United can get something out of this match?
You
I
never
don't.
know.
I don't, but you never know.
You never know, because they beat teams like Chelsea when you don't think they're very good. They beat teams like City when they're down to 10 men.
Yeah.
These are things that you see, you've experienced, and you just always remember they could do it again.
You see, I've said something nice about Leeds. I recognize what y'all can do.
You did.
I recognize Hollywood Hogan in the cup today.
I couldn't get
not
to the
Hollywood
other
Hogan?
figures. I've got the kids. They're Hogan figures.
I see.
Oh,
Lolo, I
there
think
we
you're
go.
muted.
Sorry, I muted myself. All right, so let's kick off betting in the dark with Mr. Tom.
Betting in the dark with Mr. Tom.
Come on, Lo, place your bets.
That's me as a baby.
It's Gary. Gary's his idol.
Does he only have one eye?
No, it's just the glasses are a bit too big
Oh,
because they don't make them for penguins.
oh, I see.
Got his little hoodie.
How
got
does
his hat.
Cyril feel about getting less screen time than the Penguin?
Cyril took the holiday off. Cyril will be back next week.
He's with the kids as well, playing with the figurines.
Yeah,
kinda
we'll say that. Yeah.
All right, Tom, let's see what we got.
Right. I didn't like this, right? But I'm going realistically and attempting to make money. I believe if the scum can pull off a win by the score of 2-1, with Rashford getting involved, Casemiro driving things, you can turn 1 into 70. I'm sorry, Mark. I know your heart is with the Wolves, but I know you also like winning 70.
Well, my response to that is wow. Man United is in absolute ridiculous form right now. They don't have the points to show it, but and I do not think the Wolves deserve to have beaten Everton, even though they did. And 3 points is 3 points. You know, and we did, and I'm over the moon, and I really liked a lot of what I saw. But no, I don't see Wolves beating United, Man United, and that's okay. That's okay, you know.
But no, I think this is this will be Man United, sorry, the Scum's third win in a row, which I'm not sure they've achieved yet at some point at any point this season. But it hurt to create this, but I can't see you winning, and I don't mean that to be disrespectful.
Not at all.
I think if you managed to draw this, you would be thrilled.
Yeah. I mean, shit. I mean, Rashford is in great form. Casemiro's in great form. Bruno Fernandes, not so much, but not informed Bruno Fernandes is probably better than half the players in the league. I mean, Varane is playing really well. They finally figured it out, and like, you know what, Maguire, we're better off without you. It's time to move on from that shit. I mean, Ericsson. I mean, what a great pickup. You've got Donny van der Beek with his ass cheeks glued to the bench. You're
if you've
not
never
gonna.
called them the scum in a sentence, Ian, you're lying. Sorry, carry on.
Oh, I did. I'm just choosing not to today.
May I add though,
I don't have the hatred.
I would never, ever, ever in my life back the scum to win. Ever.
Well, that's fine.
Even if they were playing, I don't know, let's say Boston City women under fives, I would never back them to win.
Can we just take a moment to talk about how first of all how brilliant director John is with these graphics. I don't know if you guys noticed, but one badge is upside down, which is awesome. It's the little things, John, and also
He's
the
showing
asterisks.
his utmost disrespect.
He's a Leeds fan.
But Manchester United bitching about like, oh, how did we not get Cody Gakpo? Oh, how are we going to replace Ronaldo? Oh, this and that and this and that. These motherfuckers just spent £1 billion buying players that just sit on the bench. Like what? It's not our fault that you don't know what to do with Jadon Sancho. It's not our fault you don't know what to do with Donny van de Beek. Or Anthony and all that. Like, fuck off. They just annoyed the shit out of me.
Yeah, they annoy the shit out of me and all, and their fans think and the media think that because it's Man United, they've got some God-given right to be great. When Roy Keane says on the air, he's not good enough for Man United. If he's not good enough for Man United, he's not good enough for any fucking Premier League club. So fuck off Roy Keane.
There you go. And Scooby-Doo 2 says, please munch away from the mic. You sound like
Sorry,
the
I will
Tasmanian
mute.
devil.
I will mute when I munch.
All right. I don't know. This one to me, having Casemiro, putting money on Casemiro scoring or assisting, yeah, it could happen, but
that's why it's
a little rough. And the other one is Wolves scoring 1, which is a little.
Well, we've scored 2 in our last 2 matches. It's not out of the possibility.
Exactly.
Yeah, but as much as I hate to say it, Varane is playing very well, and Lisandro Martinez is playing very well. They put Luke Shaw as center back last week. Eric Ten Hag is actually onto something here. So
right. Well,
I think we do have to keep an eye out on Manchester United.
While both teams are in the relegation zone, we're not Nottingham Forest. We're a much more talented team and a much better team. Don't you know? So
no, I agree.
You beat Nottingham
Forest, and we got another week under our belt with the new manager.
And I
think miracles can happen. Do you believe in miracles?
Cunha will come good for you, and
yeah, but we won't get him until January. Anyway, I'm modifying this bet a little bit. And
I wouldn't expect you to.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take Rashford as a scorer, and then I'm gonna say both teams score.
All right.
What does that pay?
I also got Aitniori and a plus over 5.5 corners. And that will pay $70 on $1.
So about the same.
That's close.
Yeah.
I'm not taking a team to win. So that's my parlay bet. I think that's safe.
All right. Well, let's move on to the next one.
Okay. I thought I'd get a bit more creative with this one, all right? I've gone, Eddie's going to do the goods again, and your boy Megales is going to get in the book, probably. But he's also been known to fix his mistakes. So if Brighton score a goal because of an error he makes, he's going to score up the other end, because that's usually what happens.
That is very true. Very true. I wish we could do these to score or be shown a card. We don't have that option.
Yeah, we don't have that option.
Well, I apologise for that, but I don't
No, that's all
apologise
right.
for this great pick, because it's a great pick. It's not. I don't know. We'll find out tomorrow. It's a great pick.
I'm loving the pink hats.
I think the graphics have been exceptional this week and all year, to be fair, quite frankly, to John.
I think you're flattering Brighton with the score in this one. I think Arsenal are going to show up properly.
The important thing to know is that Brighton actually have the winning record against Arsenal, especially in the Premier League.
I don't think that matters this season.
This season, Arsenal are they're not. They're going against the trend.
Oh yeah, that's why I said Arsenal are going to win. But it's not
just
cut
think,
and dry.
I just think they're going to. I don't think they're going to concede this time. I got, by the way, in the Super Six, I got 3-1 bang on. I just knew West Ham were going to score, but I just think Brighton are a great attacking side, but I just think Arsenal have got their number this time.
I would have won last week had they not brought on Coutinho in the 86th minute. Just pointing that out.
I would have won if fucking Nunes could have found the back of the goddamn net.
We was discussing it earlier with Director John. You did very well last week. I think one thing let you down in all bets. So
yeah, if Arsenal hadn't, if Eddie hadn't have scored, I would have won.
May I make a request for betting in the dark? Can we have an outside bet as well, like an outrageous bet every week? Well, like I don't know.
You can, but it's hard because sometimes they only offer limited things.
I don't know, man. I mean, like 46-1 is no small potatoes.
I'm talking.
You know, it's not like he's like
200 to 1 plus
372 to 1. You know,
I can throw in defenders and shit like that.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool. Because I like an outside bet.
Do it knowing that I know it will probably not happen.
No, but that one that does happen is going to make
that's
someone
why we have
happy.
The disclosure in the lower right-hand side.
That one that does happen is going to make Lolo very happy.
Yeah. No, I think the last time we played that should hopefully be in some of the players' mind that you know what, you got to take your chances when they come, and you can't just be silly with the way we're defending a lot better now. So I don't expect to see some of the mistakes that we saw in the match where they beat us. So
yeah, I mean, we're on this run right now of Brighton, Newcastle, Tottenham, and those are the three teams that beat us last last season.
Yeah.
So this is a bogey month, or a run of matches right here.
Yeah.
Where
Derek too agrees. That's why you his boy, Gary.
Yeah. I think we're good for 3 goals in most games, if not all of them. So 2 is a good choice there. But I think we can get 3 goals on anybody in the league. So even when we don't have Jesus there. So
because we got the new MSN, man.
There you go.
We got the new MSN.
Stop.
It's true. Martinelli, Saka.
It's only true in name.
I don't like it.
You are comparing anybody on your squad to Messi, Neymar, and Suarez is. I'm sorry, no. 5 years from now, you can say MSN. 5 years from now, you can. But right now, that's
it's with a particular Irish bookie.
Like 50 restaurants in my neighborhood have a BLT. That's what you're doing.
And you know what to expect from a BLT. And you know what to expect from MSN, Barcelona, or Arsenal is goals.
Poor internet is what I expect from MSN.
well. That's
well tomorrow MSN will get the goals. Let's just say that, and it'll be a lot of fun. You've got the X and the Odegaard helping out.
All I want is a good game. Can we get a competitive game?
I don't want I want win. I know.
No,
not in this one.
No, give your
not
something
in this one.
like.
Nope.
Give your asshole something to do. You know.
No. I've done enough of that. None of that tomorrow. Tomorrow I want to.
We got Newcastle and Tottenham away coming up.
More than enough.
That's
there you go.
This needs to be a boring Arsenal win.
You're showing no respect for the 6th place.
That's
team.
not what we said. You just asked us what we would like, and I don't want a tough game. It doesn't mean I am belittling that team. It means I don't want. I want.
I'm
30 minutes
reaching out
to go.
to Tony right now and giving him your locker room billboard inspiration. You're just gonna put it on there. Go. He doesn't want a competitive game. We'll show him.
I'm just hoping.
Have you seen Arsenal this year? Have you seen them
in the game?
I've seen every match. I've
go.
even seen them live, which I've never been able to say before. With two of my very good friends on my best friend's birthday party. That's really what it was. It was a birthday party that day. It just didn't have cake and balloons.
I love balloons.
No. Like I want this to be an easy one because, like you said, we have a tough stretch afterwards. So I want to get our guys out of the game so that they can.
Can we move on to bet 3?
You just want to move on? Why no? We haven't actually
45 minutes. I mean,
well, are you going to put a pound on this, Gary? Or
I already made my bet. Yes, I put my. I couldn't put the exact same bet.
Yeah, I'm not happy with. I'm going to call you out as the not you, Lolo, because you're a little bit more respectful, but I'm going to call you out here, Gary, as the Arsenal fans' representative. On give Eddie Nketiah a break. The guy, right, plays minimal minutes for your team. Me and Mr. Tom had a discussion on this midweek, and we were both under the same assumption that you guys expect miracles from him. He comes on for 20 minutes, 10 minutes, 7 minutes. And when he doesn't score, you jump on his back like he's shit. But minutes per goal, I don't think he's doing that bad at Arsenal. And
you know what?
I just think he needs a chance, and I hope that he gets this chance.
I'm just based on what we've seen, and I can only go by that. I want him to do really well, and when he gets his opportunities, I want him to take them. And he hasn't been doing that. Right? For me, he hasn't been doing that enough. And he's had opportunities to score pretty much every time he comes on. He has an opportunity to score, and a lot of times he has not. Right? And for me, it's the mentality thing of I have to start so that I can actually do good. Nah, you have to get on the pitch, and then you do what you do. Right? That's and that's what I want out of him. I think his mentality is so like I need to start, or else I can't show you how I work. No, you on the pitch, you work. Right? We've seen it from all of our players. He's seen it immediately from Jesus, so he knows it doesn't matter if you start a match or not. When you get on, you do your work. That's what I believe. If he had that mentality, he wouldn't be talking about 90 minutes, that I need 90 minutes to show you what I got. Now, it's when I get on the pitch, I do my job, right? That's what I want out of him, and that's why I push him, I guess, if you want. I'm a little like, because I think mentally he thinks he has to start to do a good job. And I don't think that's true. Not in this game. Right? So
is that right? What Runs with Cows says there? 11 goals and 11 starts from him.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that, but the one thing that I see
it's something like that. There is a stat like that out there.
Yeah.
So the guy's numbers aren't bad.
I'll tell you this about Eddie, right? Last season, in your running at the back end of the season, you'd be throwing him on for 15 minutes in games where you were already losing, and then you were blaming him for why you lost. Not you personally, not you as an individual, but as a fan base. We've seen enough of the Arsenal shows to know that you.
There's a lot of Arsenal on
that.
I don't believe any. I wouldn't. That's definitely not me.
No.
I never said it was you. I made a point of saying that
you
never said.
Well, you're bringing it up when I'm talking about it. So
no, because no. There's a lot of it. In the comments on your show. We're not saying you're a representative of everybody on your show, but you've got Arsenal fans on your show, and they show this.
No,
this
I made
mentality.
a point of saying he never said this specifically.
Yeah, he did.
I'm
yeah,
happy
but
to
I'm
say
just
that.
trying to.
I'm
just
happy
trying
to say that.
No,
Saying
but
as a
listen,
general,
what
I've seen enough Arsenal fans say it for me to say it's a belief of the Arsenal fan base.
listen, what Gary is saying is not that it's not that we're giving Eddie a hard time because he's not doing anything. The problem with Eddie a lot of times is that, as Gary just said, he will have an opportunity. He does all this hard work and then he gets an opportunity, and it's just that he's so hungry knowing that he has to score that it's a bit too much, and it's like not quite sitters, but
do you not think that a consistent run in the first team
I think it's
will
going to be
appease that?
fantastic for him. It's going to be fantastic.
Run if he is not our starting forward.
No, we get
right?
that. We get
he
that.
is not a
but,
winger for us, so he has to take the opportunities when they come.
Which is this is his opportunity, though. Do you not agree? He's got an opportunity now with Gabriel being injured to have a consistent run of games, Premier League games,
and he scored.
One after another. I'm not disagreeing with you, Gary, but I'm just saying if he produces, let's say, he scores 2 or 3 goals in his next 3 games, and he earns his place and then produces, does he not beg a question of when Gabriel's fit, or does Gabriel just come straight back in and boom, off you go again?
Gabriel Mark Jesus is our starting forward in the middle.
He will definitely come back in.
So there's no question about what what do we do if he's healthy and he's ready to go. I mean, are you going to sit Tyler Adams because he was been out?
No, I get that.
And the guy behind him.
But
as a fan,
the thing.
You're going.
Here's the thing: as soon as Jesus is ready to play, we might give him 1 extra day on the bench. Be on the team sheet, but be on the bench, because we don't feel like, oh, thank God he's back.
Yep.
We feel like, you know what, Eddie's doing a damn good job. He's going to get this start, and it's not anything against Jesus. It's like, if we can afford to give him 1 more week of rest, then let's do it. If we kick off this match and Eddie's just not getting it done, or something's not getting it done, then we switch him off 60, 70th minute. And maybe that happens even if Eddie's doing a good job. And maybe we take a couple weeks where Jesus comes off the bench, because that becomes a luxury. What we don't want to have happen is Eddie to fail miserably and just not be up to snuff. And then Jesus is almost ready to come back and we start him right away. And then he re-injures himself. Yeah. So we want Eddie to do very, very well.
No, I get that. I get you.
He's Leeds. We want him to do well.
We want him to do well.
We
want him to
do. He's Leeds. We defend him.
Gary, I'm not saying Leeds would do any different in that situation. I'm not saying Leeds as a club would do any different in that situation. But as a fan, I'd like to think if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, but you know what? We're in this situation where we are at the top of the league because Jesus was part of our squad, right? And Eddie would have to do, have double figure goals by the time Jesus comes back for us to go, well, maybe we'll think about how do we integrate them now, because there's been talk, right?
Can I ask you as a fan?
No, sorry. There's been talk that, maybe Nketiah sits up top and Jesus goes out wide, right?
As a fan,
and that's what we want. And if we have that, that's another option for us.
Right, but
I
as
would
a
love
fan,
to be in that situation.
As an Arsenal fan, right? Let's say Jesus is out 15 games, and in them 15 games, Eddie scores 12, 13 goals, and then Jesus comes back fit. What do you want? Do you want the 12, 13 goal scorer, or the guy that is unselfish and creates goals?
Like I said, Jesus is our starter.
So
he's going to start. No, it doesn't mean that Eddie sits, though.
No,
right? It doesn't necessarily mean that.
But it means
you
have to start Jesus. I get that. I'm not disputing that. I understand why you're starting him. You're benching Eddie. My issue is that how quick fans are in your fan base to blame Eddie when it isn't going perfectly. That's my issue.
I could
Eddie's not the reason.
As a neutral, I would love to answer that.
Yeah, Eddie is not the reason we're losing games, even though he comes in late and maybe he misses an opportunity. We already were losing a game, as you said. We bring somebody in. This is your time to shine, right? And you have an opportunity. If it comes to you, we're hoping it goes in, all right? So a lot.
Can I just say one thing? Sorry, Gabe. One thing about Eddie, and it involves Europa League, and then I'll shut up about it, and anyone can say so, whatever. All I'm saying is, I did notice a lot of fans saying he does get chances. He plays in Europa League, but then to me that means that he plays with people that are more of his age. But then he's playing against adults, right? And he is an adult. That's not the point. But then at the same time, it's like, no, play him with your best players.
You know what? But
see him flourish.
The competition is lower. So the competition is low. So it's not like, well, you're
but
playing.
It shouldn't be, should it not?
No, you're not playing. No, think about it.
Like it's like you're playing your under 19s or under 23s against adults.
Yeah.
So he might not be as effective. But
I get what Gary's saying, right? The competition is below standard, which brings me to a point of the Champions League should be Champions League.
Yeah.
The Europa League should be the rest of it.
Yeah. No, the way Eddie played, as somebody said even last year, they said maybe Eddie was just playing for his contract, and that's why he looked the way he did. And now he's got his contract, so let's see if it makes him, he doesn't have that stress on him anymore.
Look, if he don't make it, we'll have him.
Yeah, no. As I said, I want him to do well, but if he's not going to do his job, then what do you do? Right? What do you do? And he's not our starter right now. All right. He can create that opportunity. He has an opportunity to take a spot, right? He does. We'll see.
Like everyone's saying lower quality, but my point is that the team around him are of lower quality because you're playing lower quality.
Yep.
So if all things are equal, then if you're saying that, but Nketiah is, as you say, he's worthy of maybe starting for a Premier League team and for Arsenal. And if that's the case, then he would be one of the better players on the pitch. So when the ball comes to him, we should expect some good things from him then, right? So which one is it? So if the competition's lower, you're saying Nketiah could potentially be a starter for us.
No, but
if that's the case,
but that's the crux of Eddie's issues. When Eddie comes on with 10 minutes left in a Premier League match, you see this Chihuahua type energy, this frenetic energy of I gotta do something, I gotta do something, I gotta do something. And then he does all this work and he Darwins it over the top, or he Darwins it off to the side. Same thing in the Europa League and the FA Cup, where he's like he's trying so hard. He knows he's the best. What we saw last week against West Ham was a calmness to Eddie's game.
Yeah.
And he was all over the place, and it felt like he knew I've got my chance. If that pass comes into him in an FA Cup match or a Europa League match, he takes it first time and shoots it. And meanwhile, he gets clattered by the defender. Defender blocks the ball. Doesn't happen. But he had the calmness to see the ball coming to him, know the defender is coming up, and he rolled him and slotted it in ever so calmly because everyone around him is fantastic right now. Everyone else is playing so calmly.
That goal that he scored, right? He had an opportunity to do the same thing earlier in the game. The difference was he didn't keep in contact with the defender, and he let the defender get too much space, and the defender just came in and stole it from him. So he learned. I saw that in the game. He went from the first half where he did not have, because you could see on that second goal, he's got a hold of the defender. The defender's got a hold of him, and he's a stronger player at that point because he's got the leverage, and he makes that turn and takes the shot. So that's what he brings. I enjoyed that. I guess I'm going to say I want more. Right when I see it, I want some more of that. Right. Yeah. No, but no, I want him to do good, and I want my players to do well. When they don't, then I'm upset, right? And I should be. And I believe they're upset as well. Yeah, he wanted his minutes. He's got it now, and he's been taking advantage of it in his first one. But there's many to go, and it's just going to get tougher and tougher. Right?
Many to go.
Can we finish?
I got Eddie.
Can we?
Yeah, let's
finish.
finish
For you, not
finish betting in the dark.
He agrees with you, not me. He agrees with you. Right, I've gone for right. As paint as sad as it is, I think Chelsea are just going to win a boring contest.
Mr. Tom, I'm not happy Carry on,
I'm
but I'll
not
tell you.
happy either.
I'm going to tell you why. You know why.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know what you're gonna say. But at the same time, right? I'm sitting here and I'm like, how do you make money on this? It's like you pick Chelsea to win. There's no money in it, so I pick the exact.
I'd rather not make money on it.
I'd rather it not
That's
happen,
Manchester Scum United and Chelsea both to win in the same betting in the dark. Come on, Leeds.
Ah, fuck it, I've done worse. If anything, I'll find a third team you don't like, and I'll pick them to win next week in your 200-1 extravaganza. But in all seriousness, Nottingham Forest have currently received 6 or 7 more yellows or cards than Chelsea. And I believe if Chelsea get on the front foot, Forest could be under pressure. They're going to react rashly. So that one should be ticked off. Kai Havertz is probably, if anyone's going to score for them, it's going to be him. And I do think Nottingham Forest, they're obviously a lot better at home than they are away. So it's going to be tighter than people probably think it's going to be. But obviously, I still think Chelsea are going to win because of their overall quality. But also important note, Chelsea have beat them in every single game they've played them in since 1999.
Can I ask?
7.
Mr. Tom, you know James, don't you, on the show, James?
Yeah.
The legend. And he's an idol of yours, is he not?
Was he coming on the show?
No, he'd be very disappointed in your picks tonight. Very disappointed.
He's never heard of half of these teams.
He wouldn't know who I'm talking about. He'd go, what's the
He'd understand the Scum and the Chelsea Scum to win. And for that alone, I think you will be cast off his Christmas card list.
They all the televised games. I do the televised games.
Sometimes you've got to think outside the box, Mr. Tom.
Yeah, and FC Firpo ain't playing.
You think every week outside the box with your co-guests on, you know.
I thought
that penguin is the shit, by the way.
Mr. Tom, not Mr. Ben.
No, Ben. Somebody put a quarter in Ben earlier today because he's been talking. I think if we're going like minutes talk during this one, I lost this week.
I was quiet last week.
Yeah.
What can I say?
I mean, Mark won a few weeks ago, and Mark's got like 2 whole minutes of talking this entire.
Mark's actually he's looking at me with like, Ben, what are you doing?
No, Mark's putting his bets in right now. Is what he's doing.
I am putting my bets in, but I just
look. What can I say?
We've moved on.
I usually have
Ben's
the one
got an
beer.
opinion about everything today.
But I've had vodka tonight, so we're good. But
good on you, lad.
Good on me.
Good on you.
It's Christmas.
It's
the
end
New
of the
Year. Yeah.
Christmas.
But I love you, Mr. Tom, but I can't put my pound on either of them teams to win. And that's the best way I could sink it home to you is by explaining how James will be disappointed.
Here's my logic on it, Ben. I don't do well when I bet. I'm lucky in life, and I'm not lucky in gambling. I love gambling, but I'm not great.
But do you love life?
Gambling.
This
what I do,
philosophical moment
what
brought
I
to you
do
by
is
Tostitos
life moment. No, so what I do is I always bet on Tottenham to win.
I won't bet on Leeds on that logic.
Because fuck them. And I don't like betting on Arsenal.
No.
So I put a bunch of bets on Arsenal last week, but they were crazy bets, and I don't think I won any.
I just don't see the sense in betting on my own team because you're going to bet on them to win. And
my only rule on this, I don't put my own team on it.
Yeah, it's a double whammy if your
Leeds
team
are not
loses.
in this. Teams I don't like, I can stomach it.
May I make a request for the future, Mr. Tom? Is
another request?
Can we spice the bet up?
Talking, John.
The next time we've got Chelsea or the Scum on, can we spice the bet up and go with the other team?
It's called.
I'm telling you right now.
I was gonna say Ben would be very pleased next week because I can almost guarantee you're going to see Man United, you're going to see Chelsea, you're going to see Tottenham, you're going to see everybody because I'm petty. Oh, everyone went silent. Petty? I didn't expect that. Yeah.
I had to mute because I was eating.
Is that you're like, give us your advice, but only your bad advice. That's kind of what you're looking
Well,
for there.
Originally, when I asked Tom to do this segment, it was find me the craziest fucking bets you can find, and it's all kind of he got a little he's been reading the comments too much, hearing people like these are terrible bets, but those are the ones I like. You know my 19 leg.
I want to make $1 million off my bet,
how
Tom.
you bet, but I would much rather, if we're gonna do a betting segment,
I don't want your Ladbrokes in the window bet. I want.
If we're going to do a betting segment, I want it to be the best goddamn betting segment that we can do.
It is the best betting segment.
Motherfucker, rather than something that's like, wow, man, yeah, I bet on space.
May I just add, we're not shitting on Tommy.
But I can just set this dollar bill on fire.
Whoa, people, we're not shitting on Mr. Tommy because Mr. Tom's segment is second to none. But when it comes to them two teams, Tom, fuck them. Go the outside bet. Let's make us millionaires.
Okay.
Thank you, brother.
Hey, Gary.
Sure.
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Where can people find you?
Oh, yes. DWTT on
Jersey.
YouTube. You will find me. Just type in DWTT Arsenal. You'll find me there. Got our shows on Mondays and Saturdays. Tomorrow, the show will probably be a little earlier because Arsenal plays at 12:30. Usually Mr. Tom and Sam join me on Saturdays, and then the whole crew joins me on Monday.
Do you give Mr. Tom crap about what he says? Kind of like what Ben was doing just now?
I don't know if I do that, but he has his own segments on my show, so I guess I like him. I like him a lot more than Ben does.
I love Mr. Tom. Fuck you. Mr. Tom is my brother. I defend that boy to the hilt.
All right.
I've fought Chris Baldwin. I've fought fucking Arsenal fans for that guy, and I will stand up for him no matter what. And I know Mr. Tom will respect what I have just said tonight because he is a Leeds fan and he knows that my argument was only against the two teams.
I respect it, but I'll still probably pick the Scum if I think there's money to be made.
No, I understand that, but you understand my argument as a Leeds fan.
Ben, does this make you happy? Wolves to beat United, Bournemouth to beat Palace. Oh, don't look at my text messages. Newcastle to beat Leeds. Sorry about that. Man City, Fulham.
No, that don't make me happy. How can that make me happy when you've got that shit on it?
Tottenham, Nottingham Forest, and Brentford. $1 bet pays out $5,327.
Cash out. Cash out.
You
can't because
cash out now.
Take the monetary punishment for doing it. And then go back and redo it in a way that Ben is obviously accepting.
Well, you know what result you have to change there, or cash out.
Was Mark sending you dick pics?
Of other dicks. It's crazy.
Not Dick Van Dyke.
Nixon.
Dick Cheney.
Here's Dick
Nixon.
Did you screenshot one from Naked Attraction?
Dick Sargent, yeah.
Dick Trickle.
Dick Ward.
No,
the guy from Batman. Burt Ward. Dick Tracy, that's it. Yeah, Dick Grayson, that's him.
Dick Tracy.
Can you believe how heated it got when I said Arsenal were going to win and Eddie's going to score?
I know, I did that though.
Man, I just think it got to a point where people were wondering about like why Arsenal gets. Why Nketiah gets so much shit?
It was great
when he does.
Can I just ask, right?
It was wonderful.
Can I just ask in the comments if you love this show? Can I get a hell yeah? Because this show is just a fucking shit.
All right, well, tell 100 people tomorrow.
I'll tell 100 people tomorrow. I've been putting stickers everywhere I've got. I've still got about 50 stickers left.
Hey, well,
everywhere I've been,
I've
put stickers. I'm telling you, stickers everywhere.
And now that I see that Mo Master finally showed up here, Mo Master, how you doing? Good to see you. And he's talking some shit. And he says something about Mbappe. And I just want to mention in Ligue 1, Kylian Mbappe has 13 goals. Who is in third place with 10?
Mr. Flo.
Sorin
Flo.
Balogun.
Flo Rider.
And Alexander Lacazette. Lacazette actually has 10 goals and 4 assists.
And that's the Farmers League, where
in this
Lolo, not being disrespectful in any way, because I've never seen you play football, but you'd be on 10 by now. If you play for PSG in that league, you should be on.
But
you should be on Haaland numbers.
Here's the
fucking
difference.
Dole at PSG.
So Balogun has 10 goals right now. He has 10 goals and 1 assist. Mbappe has 13 goals, 2 assists. Neymar has 11 goals, 10 assists. So that's 24 goals for one team, the number 1 and number 2 in the top scorers right now. Who else is on the list for Reims, which is who Balogun plays for? The next person on the list for there's nobody there. There's nobody on the list that has even 5 goals. So I'm just saying, who's more important to their team right now? I got 13 goals. Yeah, but your buddy's got 11.
And 10 assists. Yeah, Neymar.
And 10 assists.
But as proven this week, is a diving twat.
I'm just saying.
He was sent off this week for diving. Double yellow card. Cheating Brazilian twat. I'm glad Argentina won, because who does not like to see a great player win a World Cup? And rest in peace, Pele, by the way, this week.
Yeah, rest in peace, Pele, man. Did so much for the game.
Of course he did. Did more for the game than any man on this planet.
I mean, that video clip of like everything that he did back then, and you see it today, and you're like, that's why.
I think it was you that messaged earlier that rest in peace, the true GOAT. And look, we had this debate, Mbappe, Ronaldo, Messi. Look, I know football was different back then, but the guy is the GOAT. He is football.
Will Messi leave an imprint like Pele? That's the thing, you know.
Well, let's hope he can do. Do you know?
Yes, the stats and all that, but like the way, the style of play and the things that you do with the ball at your feet and the plays that he made, you're like looking at them years ago, like decades ago, right? And players are still using that today, you know. And like, what is a Messi, move that you've seen that everybody wants to imitate?
That overhead kick in Escape to Victory, or in Victory as you guys get it. No one could do that. Pasta with Sylvester Stallone in goal. But yeah,
when I was a kid, that Victory was one of my favorite films. Whenever it came on, because back then you didn't stream. It got on the rotation on one of the cable channels, HBO, Showtime, Skinamax, whatever. And there was a window. There was a window, and it would show in heavy rotation. It would show like 3 times a day. And if I was awake and if I was at home, if Victory, I would watch it over and over and over and over. And again, my favorite scene is when they break the guy's arm so that I think it's so Pele can get in to the team or onto the pitch. I'm not really sure. I'm a little foggy that way, but
I've never seen that movie.
Oh, fuck off! You really do need to see it.
Well, and we had that thing last week. Last week we had the I've never seen a movie sketch in the after show. You failed to say that movie.
Well, it weren't in the top 10 grossing movies.
No, well that was your top 10.
I tend to fail a lot of things. Well, maybe if we can find it on the internet.
Listen, Mr. Tom.
We can schedule a private Zoom watching party where we watch Victory and we comment on it.
I get that, but unless you've seen the full movie together, as a collective,
No, but it's never come on TV at a time where I've sat down and the start of it has started. It's always been the football match. I've seen the football match at the end, because that's when I joined the progress of the movie. But I've not actually seen I think the only other bit I know that happens, like they break Bobby Moore's arm or they break someone's arm to be able to see, like, obviously I'm barely able to describe it. But the thing I found that made Pele a huge star was the fact that he had such mystique because you never saw him every week.
Yeah.
He popped up every 4 years at a tournament that was televised.
Yeah.
And then all you'd hear about him is, he scored 500 goals now. And you could believe it because when you actually saw him, he was amazing.
Of course.
Yeah. I think Neymar actually had a very, very good Instagram post or tweet or something like that about Pele, where he said, there's a quote of like, the number 10 was just a number until Pele, and then the number 10 meant something different. But for him, football was just football until Pele showed up, and it became a beautiful game. And he did so much for football, but he put Brazil on the map as a football, and they were already known as a good footballing
well, they were second. They were second to Uruguay at that point, weren't
but
they?
it was because it was all the white people.
Nation.
Because they were only the white people. And so and then Neymar goes on to say, and for the black people in Brazil as well, because all of a sudden, you can have this poor black boy on your team who's 17 and you don't give him any fucking rights whatsoever. Like, his whole family is so poor and everything like that. But now that he's good, you embrace him. But he fought through that from such a young age. I mean, picking mangoes and shit with his dad, right? Like that's what that's where he learned to kick a ball.
I like to look at Pele though. From obviously, I was not born when he played football, but I look at Pele as from old clips from the film, but for the ambassador he is to the game and the respect that everyone gives him. And for that, to me, that also makes you part of being a GOAT or being the complete player. So
I loved his Viagra advert. Sorry, I know you're going to
I've seen it. Yeah,
my favourite part of it was at the end. Like he does the whole advert, and at the end he turns around and basically goes, "But I don't need Viagra." Brilliant. It was like I'll take your money. And I'll say whatever you want.
But you're not belittling me.
If one fucking person thinks that I need your product, pardon my language.
Guys, well, the show is almost over, and we haven't done our New Year's resolution, so it's time to do our New Year's resolution. So I need you all to tell me at least one New Year's resolution that you have for your club. Is there anyone who is ready to go first?
Yes.
All right, Ben, you raised your hand first.
Okay.
And Tom, you didn't ding, ding, ding. I'm so sorry.
Right. Well, I thought long and hard about the topic for tonight, and basically it came down to just one New Year's resolution for me, and it's, if you're not prepared to invest anymore, Mr. Radvizani, please sell up. I'm not disrespecting you in what you've done and how you stabilized the club, and I thank him for that. But if you're not willing to invest in the right players at the right time, at the most important time in our club's recent history, then sell up and let the 49ers invest fully. And that's my New Year's resolution.
All right. So you are going to... Yeah. All right. All right, Tom.
I've heard a lot about selling up, and he wants to do it. So if you're thinking about it, just do it, and that's that. So yeah, Mr. Tom.
Okay. Slightly different tack from Ben, but I do agree with him. My New Year's resolution is that I hope Leeds sort out their defending. I don't care how. I'm not the one they're paying to be the tactical expert, so it's not my job to tell you how to do it. But somehow, by hook or crook, stop leaking fucking goals. Stop it. Stop it, you're embarrassing us. Stop it. I'm sick of it. And then what was your plan to what was your plan? Was your plan to go 0-0 against Man City on
what for
Wednesday?
70 minutes? Yeah, and then
Like,
let's attack them and show them. Yeah, I agree. But let's not rant about that.
What was actually the plan? But no, but my thing with that is, if you're going to do that, do it successfully. Actually not concede the goal. Don't fucking league.
Can I change my resolution?
Laying it on a plate.
Can I change my resolution?
Well,
and just,
hold on.
and appease Bandy here. Just sack Jesse Marsh.
But no. Let me do my New Year's resolution, and then you guys can redo yours because I need them to have a bit more resolution to them. So
okay.
So Lolo's going to show us how to do it the right way.
Show you how to do it because I didn't explain this before.
This is how you do it.
I can still hear you. So last year, my New Year's resolution was to, there you go. My New Year's resolution was to spend my money more wisely and to trim down some fat and tone up and get in good shape. So my club decided to spend money a little bit more wisely. They got an 18 million pound or something like that Martin Odegaard. They trimmed a lot of fat off of the club, and they started getting younger and fitter. So my New Year's resolution this year will be to continue on the path that I'm on and not be complacent. With the fact that I did hit a lot of my New Year's resolution goals of last year, this doesn't mean now I go, oh, I got a 6-pack. Now I can eat some Snickers. Now I can eat Tostitos, brought to you by Lolo Stitos. I think my New Year's resolution for my club is to not be complacent, is to lose the complacency. So that's where my New Year's resolution is, to continue on the path that we've already created. We've already set up a good little 6-pack. We've lost a lot of the weight. We're spending money a little bit wiser, and our money's growing a little bit. So now spend our money equally as wise and continue to get stronger and stronger and go further with our workout regimen. That is my New Year's resolution.
All right, can I go now?
Yes.
All right. So for Arsenal, anyways, my New Year's resolution, and it's an easy one because everybody knows it. I always say DWTT, and there's things to it that if you know what that means, don't waste a trip, right? And Arsenal, don't waste a trip. Basically, what that means is take advantage of those situations that are presented to you. Last season, we had an opportunity to finish top 4. We let that slip through our hands. This year, now we have another opportunity, maybe to finish top 2, maybe even top 1 if we do what we're supposed to do to make that right. And the same way I wanted last January to let's limit the risk of not making top 4 by adding some pieces. Now we're in another situation where, hey, if we just pick up some pieces, maybe we can continue to stay at the top of the table and see this thing through. All right. So don't waste a trip, Arsenal. It's something I like to say I want to do in my life as well. Don't waste a trip. This is as I say, life is a journey. Don't waste a trip. Enjoy the ride. It's everybody gets it. You all get the same. We all get it. We're all in the same trip. We got different stops along the way, but don't waste it and take advantage of anything that happens. And that's what I want for Arsenal. They have an opportunity here. This is like when we complain about Nketiah having a sitter and he misses. Those opportunities come. You got to take them when they come and put it through the back of the net, right? So this is what we want for Arsenal as well. So there you go.
There you go, Gary.
Yeah.
Every player has opportunities that they miss.
Yeah. No. You know what? But you know what? The trick is though. At the end of the day, I like to ask that question. Did I waste a trip today? And like, no.
May I ask? Is this a peyote trip or just a general life trip?
It's everything, man. Everything. Yes. Everything.
It's like if you know you're going to do a bunch of peyote.
What kind of trip do you want it to be?
If you know you're going to do a bunch of peyote, don't have like a shit ton of nachos beforehand, because you're going to waste the trip. You're going to spend.
Listen to this guy; he knows his shit.
I just want to hit some of these comments. Thunder Road said, "You can tell Lolo buys all the training tops and yet talks about spending money wisely. I do spend money wisely because I buy all knockoffs. So all of my kits collectively are maybe the price of one legit top." So there you go for that.
Yeah, but for human rights, it's not really that great.
My kids
like the people who make the real Arsenal ones aren't using
my kids hear about
labor.
Don't waste your trip all the time. They go, "Dad, again," so they know it. And I tell them even when because then I believe they've taken advantage because I've seen it. So yeah, you hear it.
I'm
enough,
still going with defending.
Huh?
Still going with defending. Improve the defending. Stop embarrassing us on a weekly basis.
But
you need to phrase it in the way of a resolution of: Are you gonna lose weight? Are you gonna gain more money? Are you?
But I'm not playing, so it doesn't. All right,
Ben.
Over to Mark.
Over Mark.
Sorry,
Mark. Oh, hello.
Hi, Mark. I saw you.
I don't remember what I had hoped the new year would bring for Wolves. What I do know is that halfway through like February, we were competing for top 4, and we fucking dropped off. Part of that is the injuries. I won't make that the excuse. Part of it is to some kind of really just idiotic moves, to get rid of our captain of 5 years, Connor Cody, to get rid of basically anyone that defends for us. It cost Bruno Lage his job this year. We brought on Lopetegui, J-Lo, as I like to call him, in the last, after a month. Oh, fuck, I love Sice. Don't do that to me, Mo Master. Don't do that to me. But what I would like is I would like a New Year's resolution A and B. One, I would like Wolves to not believe that there's a chance that they're going to be relegated. You watch teams that are in that relegation zone, and you can see it. They are resolved to be dropped down to the next tier. And I don't want Wolves to think that there is a chance in fucking hell that they are going to be relegated, because they are not. They are not amongst the 3 worst teams in the Premier League, amongst the 1920, whatever it is. Secondly, when Lopetegui got hired, there was a lot of reports that he's the guy that they've been chasing for 3-4 years. If that's the case, allow Lopetegui to spend money. And I think that was in the agreement. I'm not really sure, but he turned down Wolves and then came back around. So my guess is maybe Fosun decided that all right, we'll spend money for you, which we haven't done for anybody else since Nuno brought us up. So allow Lopetegui to have his vision is my New Year's resolution this season. And now go to full screen. There we go.
No.
Did you ever think that I just like looking at your pretty face?
Oh, this face hasn't been pretty for about 7-8 years.
You're too generous for yourself.
Can we do a take 2?
I used to be very pretty, honey, but then it all started accumulating. The booze, the cigarettes, the fooling around.
Okay, I understand the spirit of this now. All right, so we'll do it again.
I know who that is, but
Right.
I've forgotten who that is. One moment.
Well, it's supposed to be me, apparently, if I had money to buy that Covaci.
Okay, so my New Year's resolution is for the Leeds United Defensive Corps to basically go to the gym a bit more, put in that extra yard of effort, get faster, get quicker, get the agility of a cat, I say, but also the strength of an ox, because there's some big boys out there in that Premier League, and we've got to stop being second best, because there's no shame in being second best, but there's more shame in not trying. And sometimes I feel like the effort is not quite what it takes to be Leeds United.
Well done. Well done. Well done, Tom.
I got the spirit of it. Eventually,
There you go. Now
right?
you got the spirit.
I tried.
You got the spirit there. Well, we all, Mark, you're muted as well. Damn it. I know I was muted for like 5 minutes talking to myself over here.
Now you're frozen on my screen.
It looks good to
still
me.
Frozen. I think we all deal with like different
lags.
different
Anyway,
lags,
guys,
exactly.
that is a total 90-minute show with 30 minutes of stoppage time for the World Cup, like we do. So thank you guys. Thank you everybody for joining us. And if you guys would like to hang out with us backstage as we talk about whatever, as Mo Master says, your backstage is what your show should be. Because he doesn't watch Premier League. So anyway, it was a lot of fun talking to you guys. Big up to Tony for coming out earlier, talking Newcastle. Tom, Ben, best of luck tomorrow. I really do hope you guys win. And that is for very selfish reasons.
No, I don't care. I don't care.
But I hope you guys win. Mark, you too. Hope you guys win as well. This week,
man, wouldn't that
I hope
fucking
all
be
of our
great?
teams win.
Wouldn't that be
Would be
great?
great.
That would be
United lose.
over the moon.
When was the last time that happened?
I don't think
won?
either of us have a chance.
Was it happened this season
Actually,
where
you
we
know
all
what?
won?
I don't think any of our teams out and outright win this weekend. We all draw or lose.
I thought this guy.
All of us.
I thought he was your friend. Have you not been watching Arsenal? Do you
I
see
think
where we
we
are?
should, on that bombshell. I think.
Oh, Jesus,
Yeah.
man.
No,
What
I'd
is-
like to
what is
say
up
one
with
more
that?
thing.
I didn't say you were going to lose.
In
You
England,
said you're not
it's
going to
the
win.
31st to the 12th.
And Brighton
It
is the type of.
It's New Year's Eve, everybody.
I would like to say on behalf of the two gentlemen that host, and I'm going to include John, so three gentlemen that put on this show. Thank you for putting on the show for this past year for us, for all of our enjoyment. Personally, thank you for allowing me to be part of this show on a weekly basis. Thank you to people in the comment section that tolerate the nonsense. I mean, obviously there's nonsense. Thank you for the English people that stay up and tolerate that nonsense. Have a good 2023. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. No, that was bad advice. But seriously, have a good one.
Thank you so much, Tom.
You stole my line.
Stole your line. Get out of here. Thank you guys so much. And yes, please, everybody, have a great new year. We will see you guys back
Happy
on
New Year, everybody.
Tuesday with our weekend recap, and then Thursday for the weekend watch list for the following week. But much love to all you guys. Don't forget to check out Gary on the trip. And Mr. Tom is also all over the place. He's on the trip as well there.
I'm on more
but
shows
we
than
will
I can
see you
count.
guys. We will see you guys very soon. And if you want to hang out and talk to us for a little bit, click on that link and join us backstage for a little after
All right,
hours.
everybody.
Thanks,
where we
Director
open up
John.
the eggnog.
Thanks,
Thank
John.
you very much, John.
Derek
as
2
well.
will be back in 50 weeks.